Are you living your dreams? Want to create a life you love but don't know how to begin? Lifestyle coach and personal growth expert Cynthia Brian has jump-started the lives and careers of clients for over 2 decades with her signature Starstyle consultations with personalized sessions by phone or in person. You'll turn your passions into profits. Visit www.cynthiabrian.com or call 925-377-STAR. That's cynthiabrian.com or call 925-377-7827. Cynthia Brian is your guide on the side. www.cynthiabrian.com. You can be the star you are.
You have a plan for your life. You've set goals. You know where you want to go. Congratulations on finding Starstyle. Be the star you are. Our vibrant hosts, passion, purpose, and possibility producer Cynthia Brian and her energetic daughter, healthy living specialist Heather Brittany, share the best roads, fastest detours, and successful strategies for a life worth living. Reach your potential with their personal achievement coaching, miracle moments, inspiring guests, titillating interviews, and business bites. Be introduced to new books and innovative ideas that encourage you to live a positive, sustainable lifestyle while achieving your dreams. Ignite your power. Make a difference in the world and shoot for the stars. It's the Power Hour of living, loving, laughing, and learning. On Starstyle, be the star you are. Lend us your ears. The party starts now.
Never say never. Live your dream.
Hello, play partners, and welcome to our Power Hour on Starstyle, Be the Star You Are. I'm Cynthia Brian.
And I'm Heather Brittany.
And you are listening to us on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our goal is to seed, stimulate, and support space for positive, meaningful conversations that'll get you talking, because we are about heart and soul, designed to inspire and motivate you to greatness. The miracle moment for today is brought to you by Starstyle Productions, coaching you for writing, speaking, and media interviews. Call 925-377-STAR or visit starstyleproductions.com. And this miracle moment is from Goethe. When you finally trust yourself, you will know how to live. Think about that one. It's very true. It's all about believing in yourself. And this is what our show's about today. In our Tea for Two, a Mother-Daughter Brew with Heather and I, we're going to talk about enjoying the good life. You know, wine, food, living an inspired and happy life is a personal choice. And we want to hopefully just kind of spark some ideas on how we live ours and how we like to live in the moment and savor the seconds, and possibly you do too. And then in our second segment, best-selling author of Witches of East End, soon to be a Lifetime television series starring Julia Ormond, will be on our show with her newest novel, Winds of Salem. It is the spellbinding conclusion to the Witches of East End. And then in the final segment, it's how do you find a great job, a loving partner, increase your income, or find the best living situation? The answer is to be yourself. And we're going to be talking all about you in segment 3. So living an inspired life, it's a gift to ourselves. For me, I think it means expressing ourselves with creativity, discovering or rediscovering what it is that makes us happy. And so Heather and I thought we would just kind of take a light path today and talk about the simple things that make us tick, whether it is, you know, food, wine, friends, animals, dancing, gardening, volunteering, whatever it is. This segment is all about refreshing and regrouping and just savoring the second. So, Heather, let's start with you, because you have so many fun things going on right now. In fact, you're just getting back from a couple of lovely days down in Temecula. So, what do you think is the importance of being inspired and being happy and living kind of the good life?
Yeah, well, one thing I must say, and I don't want anyone to think that, oh, it's this spooky vision of that every day is sparkles and rainbows, because with all things, you have to have a little rain to have rainbows. So it's normal to feel stressed and feel, you know, any anxiety, and I want people to know that that's not the message we're trying to say, is that...
Exactly.
You know,
I mean, I think we share that.
everything is natural.
We share that on a regular basis.
sometimes when you are upset, really good things can come from it and stressful things and all that. But, getting to the day-to-day is that happiness is a choice. And, happiness is an inside job. And I think many times, oftentimes people, they see people who are happy and try to, how are you happy? There's this and this is stressful. And it's making your own decisions. It's kind of deciding, looking at the big picture of it, I'm alive, my family's alive, I have a roof over my head and food in my belly. There's not much to complain with. And I think oftentimes, when you have a really positive outlook, that attracts people to, they sort of, when you're around, oftentimes I think when you're around negative people, you start feeling really negative. And it's something, a lot of times fake it till you make it. Sometimes when you're in the best mood and you're around really negative people, it can bring you down. And the same thing can happen too when you're around really positive people. Before you know it, you start to feel really good. It's contagious, and again, it goes both ways, good and bad. And so trying to be that person, to be that positivity that people radiate to you, that kind of almost to be a mirror for people so that they can feel really good about it. And I think it's trying to make fulfillment within your own life. And I think it's unfortunate oftentimes you see these studies that talk about how to be happy, and they say things that, allow yourself to have at least 15 minutes of pleasurable activities a day, meaning, doing something you love. And I think 15 minutes, like the fact that you have to schedule, do something good for myself today, that it's a task is why people, oftentimes are stressed and feel like out. So I think it's kind of continuously. So for me, for example, finding things that I love and I want to have in my life. So for example, I love wine and I love a good wine. And not that I'm a wine snob, but I definitely, not to say I've had some great, very cheap bottles and some terrible expensive bottles, but I'm just saying a good wine. Having a wine that I know I like and I can open it, whether it's out of, it's time for my 5 o'clock wine, or I'm stressed, I need a glass of wine kind of thing. To just have something nice. I love creating within my own house, a sanctuary, things that I don't want TVs in the bedroom. I don't want that distraction. And I love having scented candles. Incense sometimes burns my, and I love having really, these so many candles, and oftentimes they cost a little bit more money, but especially in these fall times, you get white ones that smell like pumpkin pie and apple streusel and French vanilla and fresh laundry. And there's something special about scents that we get that nostalgic. When you smell suntan lotion, you think of times at the beach in summer. So for me, having an atmosphere that smells really positive and smells good, instantly I feel relaxed, and then I feel better and I feel good. And again, it's the people you put around you. I know in various T for Twos we've talked about toxic friends, and sometimes, the people in our life bring us down and, can affect our health, that we're stressed around, quote unquote friends or family members and, these people that are part of our life, and you need to take that out of your life. So I think, there's always an apple in every bunch. It's difficult, but really, the people, it's the quality over the quantity. So I try to surround myself with my friends that I truly consider my friends, that I can turn to for anything. And then more of the time, it's not that I need to turn to, to have serious conversations, but the friends that I can have that, truth and honesty with, but also I want this to be the same person that I can also be silly with and laugh until I cry. So, I think it's really keeping a positive atmosphere around you. It rubs off on you, and it affects other people in so many other ways. Just being this past week, we were in Temecula getting stuff ready for the big wedding that I must say many stresses come with that. But I have to say this morning I came outside and it was just beautiful out, and it was finally almost, the sun was out and the air smelled so good. And I just kind of just took in the moment, and I felt really good inside. And I think that's something oftentimes we just have to take a second in our life to really breathe in these moments and really feel, this is that we are here in this life and that we want to feel that positivity. So I've been stealing the microphone. For you, what do you feel, what are the things that make you feel positive and that you feel, that's something you could share with other people, how to live a life that, that's positive and that can also breed positivity onto other people?
Well, those were all such great tips, Heather. And I first wanted to go back to what you first said at the beginning about you have to have a little rain if you want to see the rainbows. And, we talk about that a lot here, is that no matter who we are, we're all humans. We're humans in training, I like to say. And what I mean by that is that, again, we always have a choice of whether to be happy, whether to be sad. Life is a choice. And no matter how good you are, how hard we try to do the right things, bad things are going to happen to good people. But it's not what happens to us, it's how we respond to things. So obviously, we have to attempt, at least when the going gets tough, to be the tough that get going and see the positive side of life. And I think that is the way that you and I have always operated. And, as people know, the charity and the Starstyle offices were robbed this past week. My husband's car got broken into a couple of days ago, and these are all things that could kind of get you down, but instead, you have to just flip the coin and realize that as you were saying, you have your health and, you have your family and you have your friends. And those are the things that are really important. So getting to what really makes me happy is I need a lot of alone time. And I realize that because I'm a creative person and I need to think. And as much as I enjoy being around people, I have to be by myself because I can't write. I can't be that source of energy for other people unless I replenish myself. So I actually do schedule just me time, and I don't look at it as being selfish. I look at it as being restorative, that I have to have this time just to get things done. For example, this morning, coming right up is Melissa de la Cruz, who's the best-selling author with her new book. But her new book didn't arrive until yesterday, and I was booked working from 6 yesterday morning till midnight. So I didn't get to her book. So what I had to do is I got up this morning at 6, and I had to slice out the time to read the book, and it took me a few hours. And it was wonderful because it was just my time to read the book, get prepared for the show. And and so instead of feeling stressed because I hadn't read the book in a week in advance, I just gave myself the permission to do it today and to be prepared for it. So things that just having time to read, going into my garden, playing with my animals. I have a big barnyard of animals, and that I just love being with the animals. And I realized today that one of the little baby chicks that I thought was a hen just as possibly could be a rooster, although it's not. I know, dun da da. So, but don't say anything to anybody. I haven't heard any cock-a-doodle-doos. And she is awfully beautiful and awfully friendly. But so that makes me happy. I really enjoy swimming every day. For me, I know for you it's going to bar, but for me it's swimming, and I just need to swim every day, and just to get my energy up and to get some exercise. And it's so fun to go dancing. I can't wait for your wedding where we can just dance up a storm. And as you were saying earlier, good food and, good wine is always important. And we love it's our family tradition. Our whole family's, in the wine business. So it's great to have a nice glass of wine and to share it with somebody and to talk about it and to learn about it. And I also love with the gardening. Right now I'm writing an article for the newspaper about all the medicinal herbs and plants and fruits and everything that are in our garden and how we can use them for different ailments, especially now that fall and winter are coming along. And I realize how much I love cooking with all these different herbs. And I really know the spices and the tastes and what goes with what. And that to me is very, is really fun and is creative. And so just simple, none of these things are great big things. Obviously, I love working with the kids and being a mentor to all these teens through Be the Star You Are charity and doing good things for others. It's all volunteer work, but it is fun to help others. And then, of course, getting together with family and friends is always important, and sharing what we have. And then just hearing what's happening with other people. Little things put smiles on my face. You know, a kind word, a smile, something, a pretty sunset, clouds in the sky, flowers, all those simple things of life. And I think the best thing about what you and I are both saying, they're available to all of us. Right?
Exactly. On this time when, when we're all on these strict budgets,
yes.
These, for the most part, are things that are completely available to all of us.
You don't have to spend money. If you can just, put a smile on your face and do kind things for others, and then just decide to have a really good time in life and to be creative and inspired, you will lead an inspired and motivated life. Well, Heather, go ahead and give out the website.
Most definitely. We want you to go to BeTheStarYouAre.com as well as BeTheStarYouAre.org.
And when we return from break, we are going to return to 1692 and the Salem witch trials with Melissa de la Cruz's Witches of East End novel, the new one, Winds of Salem. I'm Cynthia Brian. This is Starstyle Productions, and that's Heather. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
The star you are, the star you are, be the star you are.
Follow us on Twitter for more great ideas at Voice America Empowerment.
Apathy, violence, and negative messages are everyday occurrences in our country. You can be a change maker when you dare to care by supporting Be the Star You Are charity, a 501c3 that empowers women, families, and youth through improved literacy, positive media, and tools for living. Visit www.BeTheStarYouAre.org to find out how you can make a difference in our world. Everyone counts. That web address again is www.BeTheStarYouAre.org. BeTheStarYouAre.org.
Get autographed copies of New York Times bestselling author Cynthia Brian's books at www.starstyleradio.com. Get inspired and motivated to be your best self with Be the Star You Are, 99 gifts, and Be the Star You Are for teens. Buy cases at a deep discount to give away as gifts and premiums. Visit www.starstyleradio.com or call 925-377-STAR. 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 We're on Facebook, along with some of the greatest minds of the world, and that includes you. Visit us on Facebook at Voice America Empowerment.
Be the star you are. You are the star.
Plug in your headphones and tune in to enlightening interviews with acclaimed authors and successperts as our Oprah of the airwaves, Cynthia Brian, gabs with the gurus. Lend us your ears for the Power Hour on Starstyle. Be the Star You Are. Now, here's Cynthia Brian.
Find all you need in a light that shines.
We know you have a plan for your life. You've set your goals. You know where you want to go. But there's always detours, and that's where we come in, right here with you every week, bringing you the authors, experts, and books that inspire, entertain, and motivate you. I want to help you ignite your power and shoot for the stars. My name is Cynthia Brian. You're listening to Starstyle, Be the Star You Are, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. And just a quick reminder, my newest book, the audio-enhanced version of The Business of Show Business, includes original interviews, music reviews, tips, all of those good things. It's also in ebook form, available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, iBookstore, and any place that books are sold. It's The Business of Show Business. For about 10 months in the year 1692, Salem Village, Massachusetts became the site of the infamous accusations of witchcraft that resulted in the hanging deaths of innocents. New York Times best-selling author Melissa de la Cruz has stirred up a magical brew combining history with fantasy to bring us her newest novel in the Witches of East End. It's Winds of Salem. Welcome back, Melissa, to Starstyle, Be the Star You Are.
Oh, it's great to be back, Cynthia. Thanks so much for having me again.
Well,
Awesome.
I am so excited that you're back. I mean, first of all, I have to tell all our listeners, you're launching 2 books right now. Winds of Salem, this is the adult book, and you just launched Frozen, which is the new teen series with your husband. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I know it's crazy.
It is
Our
crazy.
schedule is crazy.
Yes. Well, we'll talk more about that. on their schedule. But I believe you're in Oakland, California tonight. Is that correct? Doing a reading and book signing? Very cool.
We are going to be in a great good place for books around 7 o'clock. So
all right.
You're in the area, please come and see us.
So we want people to know that. So you can also go to her website and find out how to get there and all of that good thing. Well, I have to start with a question, because last year when you were on the show, you introduced us to the Beauchamp and the Gardner family of Northampton, who to outsiders looked like just normal middle-class family, you know, with mother Joanna, the daughters Freya and Ingrid Beauchamp. But in fact, they were medieval witches, while Bran, Killy, and Gardner were the gods of mischief and beauty and joy, although, again, they looked, you know, like just gorgeous guys that lived in the Hamptons. I was wondering, when I was, like, looking at historical things, did you choose the Hamptons and the name Gardner after that 1658 incident that was in East Hampton? Where, is that what you did?
Yes, I chose it for Gardner Island, which is the oldest, land given to a private family by the Crown of England. So the Gardner family owned it before America was America. So it's kind of this really interesting story. You know, they got it from the sovereign, from King George, I think, way before America was independent.
King George the Third.
Yeah.
I had a rooster named King George III because I thought King George III was such an evil king. Yeah. But the thing with Gardner Island is the 16-year-old Elizabeth Gardner Howell had given birth to a child, and when she fell ill, she accused this person of being a witch, and that was happening in the Hamptons, and I thought that was like amazing to me because you have this fictional place of Northampton. But what I loved in your book too is when you went back to the Salem witch trials of 1692, where both daughters, Ingrid and Freya, in past times, your characters had been hung. You actually did use characters from the real history. Oh, yes. So, definitely. Yeah, so you used, like the Reverend Samuel Parris, and then, of course, the three girls who had, had all these antics. Did you have to do a lot of research about the Salem witch trials? What came first? The thought of doing this series or doing your research of the trials?
Definitely for this book, I did a lot of research first. And I had a little bit of going back to, the witch trials in the second book, Serpent's Kiss. And my editor really liked those parts of the book. And she said, why don't you do a book that's, half set in the past, during Salem? And I said, okay, because I'm not a historical fiction writer, and I knew that it would just be a lot of work and a lot of research. But, I kind of felt like it would be a kind of interesting challenge, and it is a time in American history that is really fascinating. And, while I think everybody kind of has a rudimentary knowledge of what happened, when I did all the research and really got into the Puritans and how they thought about, the world and about the devil. I mean, to them, the devil was real, and if people accused each other of witchcraft and, being with the devil all the time. It just was a really fascinating kind of mindset. So I read a lot of books that were written during the time. There were a lot of pamphlets about, these girls and what was happening. And, it was always like an outsider woman. It was like somebody who was usually unmarried, kind of single. It was really interesting to see that, which was, a woman with no protection, really. So I kind of, my series is about strong women and kind of strong, kind of female power and routinely in society, this is really something that is, kind of like an outsider status. So it kind of fit in with my theme.
What's so interesting about that time period, and I really enjoyed the way that you went back into the past and you went back to a real time that people do have some rudimentary, knowledge about.
Yeah.
I love the way that you did it, because by interweaving real characters and real events, and then that scene that you have in your book where they're trying to find where's Freya and see if she's dead or alive, and the dates keep changing. Is it June 19th? Is it June 13th, 19th? Yeah. And then her name appears and it doesn't appear. And, so it was like, has it been done? Has it not been done? But what's fascinating to me also about that time was that it really only happened for about 10 months. And I think there was, 19 people hanged, like 5 men, 14 women, and then one guy was crushed to death. But there's still no real evidence, right, of the spectral evidence of what these girls were doing. Were they just being hysterical? Were they play acting? Or was it something, like toxologists said, that it was that ergot, that contamination, food contamination? Did you find anything or did you just think it might have been jealousy or boredom?
Yeah, for me, I really thought that these were teenage girls who, they were celebrities, the accusers, and the more kind of wild and frantic, their hysteria was, the more famous they became, and the lives of Puritan girls of that age were really difficult. I mean, from dawn to dusk, they were working. They had so many chores. They had to do everything. They had to make the candles. They had to make the soap. They had to make the beer. They were just, kind of working from, the minute they got out of bed. And when they started accusing other people of being witches, they suddenly got out of their daily life. I kind of think of them as reality TV stars.
I was just going to say that. They seem like reality TV stars. Exactly. That was exactly, and spoiled brats that just figured out a way to get out of
definitely.
it. It was, I also didn't like the treachery that happened with Mercy and Freya, who supposedly were going to be friends, because that was so fun when Freya, they were so tired picking potatoes, and the potatoes could come into their baskets by themselves. You have so many wonderful scenes, and the whole idea of witchery. I mean, before Christianity, there were healers who collected herbs and made brews to help, women in childbirth and help people when they're sick. But it really was the Christianity that made it so, especially this Puritan thing, that made it devilish work, because there was that thought that if you were sick, it was really a punishment for sins committed, and it was up to God to decide. So, the whole idea of going from being the wise woman to an evil sorcerer, it certainly happened very quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, no, they definitely turned on a dime, all of a sudden.
Well,
it was just not good.
You have now, the Witches of East End is now a Lifetime television series. So,
yes, it is.
Tell us about it. Tell us about that. That has to be very exciting.
Oh, it's incredibly exciting. It is debuting on October 6th on Lifetime at 10 o'clock p.m. Julie Ormond, Jenna Dewan-Tatum, and Rachel Boston are our 3 witches, and they've added a new character of Wendy, who is Joanna's sister, played by Madsen Amick. So I kind of really like it. They've made it 2 sets of sisters. So there's the older mom and aunt, and then there's the young girls, Freya and Ingrid. And they live in, I think we are calling it East Haven in the TV show. And what I like about the TV show is that it's really true to the spirit of the book. It's about mother, daughters, and family bonds. And there's also the hot love triangle from the book that's on the TV show.
Oh, good. I'm so excited about that. That was a nice twist. I liked it.
Yeah, no, I liked it too. And the guys who play, they're calling Brand Dash in the show, so it's Dash and Killian are so hot. They're awesome.
Did you have any part in casting or writing the script, or did they just buy the rights to the book or option it? How did that work?
I'm a consulting producer, and
cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of nice, and but I'll take no credit. I mean, they make the TV show, and I met with I picked the producer, I picked who to sell my book to. I really liked him. He'd done I Am Legend and Constantine. And then he picked, other people to work on the show. And everybody has just been kind of really wonderful. And the interesting thing is Lifetime picked the book. Like, they actually came to us while we were kind of gearing up to sell it and said, is it available? And we were like, yeah. And Lifetime said, oh, we want it. And we were like, well, we didn't even have to pitch it to them, so it was really, I think it was such a great, process, because then we had producers, that we could, we kind of had our litter, like we could do whatever we wanted. And it's been a really, really great experience. I am not actively involved in the show, but I am, part of it. So I'm its biggest fan. I really believe in David Sedaris when he said, you give permission for somebody to adapt your work and then you let it go. I think artists need the freedom to, create their own vision of it. And that's what they're doing, and I'm totally behind it, and I really enjoy it.
Well, tell me something, because the difference always between reading a book and watching a film is that when you read a book, you create these characters in your mind and how they look and how they act and their personalities and all of that. When you see the cast and what you've seen, the dailies or whatever, is it like you experienced when you were writing the book?
Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy to see them, because not just the cast, definitely the cast, when they reenact like the engagement party and, the scenes with, Freya and Killian, they're really like, oh my God, that's so great. But even like the house, like the Beauchamp house is like exactly
that's what I mean. How is that? Is that like what you wanted? And
yeah, the library, the house, the bar. It's really amazing. I'm just really blessed. Mm-hmm.
Where did they shoot it? Did they shoot it in the Hamptons?
No, they shoot in Vancouver. We shot the pilot in North Carolina, and now we're in Vancouver.
That's
all TV shows are made.
No, that's reality these days. The whole runaway production. It's expensive to shoot it in the States. You have to do it somewhere. How many episodes is it, The Witches of East End? And for our listeners just joining us, we're talking to Melissa de la Cruz. She's the New York Times best-selling author of the Blue Blood series, and we're talking about her third novel, Winds of Salem, in the Witches of East End series, but also about the new Lifetime television series. So it's going to be how many episodes?
10 episodes.
That's awesome. So it starts on October 6th. So that's a Sunday night on Lifetime?
Sunday night, yeah.
So every Sunday? Will it be every Sunday then?
Every Sunday, yes. Sundays at 10 o'clock. Yep.
Yay! Okay, so Lifetime every single Sunday. We have to tune in to Witches of East End. Well, I want to skip just for a second because you've also released Frozen, and we don't need to talk about Frozen, but your husband has been a collaborator with you kind of behind the scenes, but with Frozen, he's coming to the forefront. Yeah, this must be really fun.
Yes, it is. He's on book tour with me right now, and, we've been collaborating on Blue Bloods and Witches of East End for 10 years, and now it's kind of official. And I think we were kind of trying to explain, it's like, when we were collaborating before, it was my vision for the vampires and the witches, and he was helping me realize that vision. He was writing with me. We were doing the mythology, outlining. But with Frozen, it really is a shared vision, and we feel like we both really owned the book in a different way. So, and we also wanted to, give my credit where credit's due.
So, and is he enjoying it so far? Does he like being?
Yeah, no, it's great to have somebody with me on tour, and we're enjoying meeting all our readers and kind of discovering the country a little bit. So.
Well, very exciting. And I want to also let our listeners know that Melissa will be on our teen show, Express Yourself Teen Radio, in October. And on that show, she's going to talk about this new series of books called Frozen. That sounds very exciting, kind of Las Vegas on ice, right?
Yeah,
or in ice, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's also going to be talking about her life as a journalist, because I'm sure that a lot of people now are just associating you with these amazing series, these novels that you're doing with all these witches and the Blue Blood series. But you were also a journalist before you started being this kind of writer. You wrote for New York Times and Marie Claire, Cosmo Girl, 17. How was that transition for you?
It's funny. It was fine. Because I actually started out writing novels. So when I was 22, I wrote a novel and I got an agent, and my agent sent it to an editor in New York, Simon Schuster editor named Jeff Klosky, who's now the publisher of Riverhead. He's very big and important, the fact that he was a young editor. And he told me that he wasn't going to buy my novel, but he thought I had a great voice and I would definitely write books in the future. And he actually encouraged me to be a journalist, and he said that it would show publishers that I could be a professional writer, that I could write a deadline, and I had the clip file that other people had published me, and had published, smaller stories. So he said, not a lot of people are going to buy, a 300-page novel from someone who hasn't even published, one article. So I took that advice, to heart, and I started trying to write for newspapers and magazines, and I did it for about 10 years, and I really liked it. Being a reporter kind of gets you out of your comfort zone. You have to talk to a lot of people, and then learning how to work with editors, not to take things personally, when things are cut, when things are changed. And I think it's really good training for writers if you want to write books too.
Well, and were you writing any of your books at the same time? I mean, were you thinking about doing all these things? I mean, because you've written a lot of books. You did the Ashley series. You did Fresh Off the Boat. I mean, you have a lot of books. Girls Who Like Boys, if I'm remembering right, Fashionistas, all of it. So you've written a lot. Were you writing some of these at the same time then?
I think I was probably writing the first 3 books. I did a book called Cat's Meow and a book called How to Become Famous in 2 Weeks or Less. And the Fashionista.
That was a good. That one. That's right. That was a good one.
Yes. So
you know what? Your characters in the book, who are the real characters of the Salem witch trial, I bet you, they must have read that book, because they became famous very quickly, and they're still famous 300 years later.
Still famous. Yes. I know. It is kind of frightening. It is really the power of teenage girls, and starting that trend. And there's a scene in the book where, there's girls who are in the courthouse testifying, but then there's like hundreds of girls just outside, and they're all spitting, they're all in hysterics, they're all being possessed, so it's a really, it's like having a trend. It's like everybody doing, some. I
like the way you set that up too, because, the first time we see anybody doing that, they did it when Freya and I don't know the other person.
Mercy,
came over.
Oh, Abigail.
Yeah, Abigail. They came over and she was like, they were like, come on, do it with us, us, So they were just play acting, and then they were so opposed to the Barbados Caribbean slave, who again is a real character from history. She was she was the only one that confessed, right? But what was her name? Tituba?
Yeah,
but nobody knows what happened to her. She was never hanged, I don't think, was she?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think she was just in jail. Maybe they let her go after.
Yeah, I think that, but she'd actually confessed to cohorting with the devil and signing the book and all of that. So that really added to the intrigue, I'm sure. But these teenagers, the way you portrayed them in Winds of Salem was just so much like teenagers today. So you could tell that teenagers probably have not changed very much in all.
Nope. Not at all.
Not at all. And especially, as you said, the work was really hard. So what's the best way to get out of work is to throw some kind of tantrum or be a celebrity for doing nothing. That's right. So let's give out your website, because I know that you probably have to get prepared for your book reading and your book signing tonight in Oakland at 7 p.m. Melissa's website, melissa-delacruz.com. Is that the website you want people to go to?
Yes. And I'm also active on Twitter, which is twitter.com/Melissa Delacruz, all one word.
Okay. Do you actually respond to all these tweets and stuff?
I don't respond to everybody. It just depends on whether I'm there and I can see it on screen. So I miss a bunch. But if I'm on, I will respond to you. Like if you catch me tweeting and then you kind of say hi, I'll say hi.
Good. Cool. So go to twitter.com/Melissa Delacruz. And that's always fun, although it's so hard to say anything in 140 characters.
Yeah.
But you can always say hi, and you can always tell her which you love, and which of the guys, which of the love triangle you think is hotter. And I can't wait to see the series starting October 6th, Lifetime, every Sunday for 10 episodes. So we want to stay tuned to the Witches of East End. And this book is Winds of Salem, and it's a great read, and you get plunged back into the 17th century, right into Salem Village and the witch trials, and it just piques your imagination of what life must have been like. I think it was really kind of horrible, don't you? Especially for women.
Oh, we would never last.
I would have never last. Do you know how I know wouldn't have last, Melissa? It's so interesting because I'm a garden writer, and actually my pen name is Goddess Gardener, right?
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
I'm one of your goddesses here. But the article I was writing before I started reading your book, it's all about medicinal herbs, and it's called the Medicine Cabinet. It's all about all the things that we can collect and how we can ease pain and all these different things, because I'm a major gardener. And I realized that had I lived in that century, which who knows, maybe I did, I would have totally been hanged, because I would have totally been considered a witch. Because I'm just, I'm a nature lover. So, that's probably what would have happened. Anyway, I think we're all good witches, right? We're just all good.
All white magic. Yeah.
All white magic. I want to just be like the Beauchamp girls. Well, thank you, Melissa, for coming on Starstyle, Be the Star You Are. We'll look forward to having you on Express Yourself Teen Radio in October. Again, her book, Winds of Salem, her website, melissa-delacruz.com, and she's active on Twitter, twitter.com/Melissa Delacruz. Have a blast on your book tour.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me today. Always so much fun to talk to you, Cynthia.
It's so much fun, Melissa. So you guys have fun, and we will be in touch. And when we come back, thank you, and hello to your husband. And I'm glad he's out front now and doing the fun stuff with you. And when we come back from break, we're going to be talking about how to be more like yourself. We want you just to be. My name is Cynthia Brian. You're listening to Starstyle, Be the Star You Are. I'll be right back.
Star you are, the star you are, be the star you are.
Change your world. Change your life. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
Business Bites. Here's Cynthia Brian.
How can you successfully communicate decisions within your organization and beyond? You have to find out what are the key points or major messages you want to share when communicating the decision. Outline the points ahead of time. If each member of a leadership team is communicating individually, creating a common list of key messages is even more important. How is this decision connected to or in alignment with your strategy's vision and mission and values? As leaders, you hopefully have made a decision on keeping your strategies, your mission, and your vision and values in mind. You have to help them see the connections and the relevance of the decision so that the long-term picture of the organization is successful. Have we answered the why to the decision? Too often leaders describe the what but never address the why. Knowing why you're doing something helps people hear, understand, and accept. Who will provide the communication? Is one executive making the announcement or sending the email? Is each individual manager sharing the message with the group? Purposely decide who is the communicator. And how will it be communicated? What's the best medium? consider the message and how you're going to get it there. So when or by when will it be communicated? Chances are the sooner the better. And what will the process be to check for understanding? Communication is a two-way process. A complete communication plan makes sure that people have gotten the message and that they understand it. When we communicate the right information at the right time and the right way, our communication will be more effective. You are the star of your own performance. Turn your passions into profits. I'm Cynthia Brian with another business bite from Starstyle. For more information, visit starstyleproductions.com or call 925-377-STAR.
Are you seeking a dynamo speaker for your meeting, conference, or organization? Internationally recognized keynote speaker and New York Times bestselling author and lifestyle coach Cynthia Brian will bring her energetic expertise, passionate professionalism, and ebullient personality to your event. Hailed as an expert in lifestyle, women's issues, self-help, personal balance, leadership, media, gardening, and interior design topics, Cynthia Brian is a popular empowerment keynote speaker around the world, lecturing to audiences of 100 to 5,000. For rates and bookings, call 925-377-STAR, 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 and visit www.cynthiabrian.com. When you want the best, book Cynthia Brian, www.cynthiabrian.com.
Be the star you are, light up the flame that burns.
Make a world of difference in a world of differences when you support Be the Star You Are 501c3, a literacy and positive media charity dedicated to empowering women, families, and youth. Visit BeTheStarYouAre.org to make a tax-deductible donation today. Everyone counts. Donate today. BeTheStarYouAre.org.
Be the lucky star you are.
Be the star you are. You are the star.
Positive, uplifting, life-changing talk radio. It's the Power Hour on Starstyle. Be the Star You Are. Now, back to the show with the Oprah of the airwaves, Cynthia Brian.
Look for the signs.
The secret to every success lies not in what or even who you know, but clearly seeing where you want to go. So here at Starstyle, Be the Star You Are, we believe you have the power to have it all, and we intend to help you get going in the right direction and keep on going. I'm Cynthia Brian, and this is on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, brought to you through Be the Star You Are 501c3 charity. To make a donation, go to BeTheStarYouAre.org. And a reminder that Be the Star You Are, its teams, and I will be at the Pear Festival coming up on September 28th at Moraga Commons Park. We'll be doing writing activities for all ages. It's sponsored by the La Miranda Weekly newspaper, and we thank them for it. And then also coming up, starting in October, is the 10th annual essay contest sponsored by U.S. Bank. The topic this year is what it means to be an American. So it should be a very interesting topic. So we thank U.S. Bank for that sponsorship. And to get more information, go to starstyleradio.com, click on events. And on events, you can find both information to attend the Pear Festival as well as to start thinking about entering the essay contest. You can win dollar prizes, radio interviews, books, and much more. So we hope that you will join us. Well, as we enter a new business and school season, you are likely setting your vision on how to succeed. And I know our teens are on Express Yourself and the kids at Be the Star You Are. So you may be wanting to find a good job or better classes or advance in your current position, increase your income, get better grades, or even want to move and go to a better place to live. Or you want to find a relationship partner, deepen your connection with your current partner, or perhaps you're even wondering whether to stay in your relationship at all. So how do you do this? The answer to all of these questions is the same. Be who you are. Be more of who you are. Be all of who you are. Your greatest career and relationship asset is authenticity. To the extent that you are true to your passions, skills, and intuition, you're going to succeed gloriously when you're true to yourself. If you compromise or lie or over-adapt or sell out, you're still going to be wandering and wondering, what should I do? There's really only one answer to what should I do. It's just be you. Sometimes, it doesn't matter how brilliant or successful we are. We sometimes feel that we can grow, that we're not growing as lucrative and as successful as we want to be. And so when somebody asks me, when I'm coaching somebody, what is it that I need to do, to be more successful or to get to a higher plane, I usually laugh a bit because so many of the people that come to me are already so super successful that they just need to have a bit more confidence, and they need to just be who they are because they're wise, they're talented, they wow audiences when they go out and speak. No matter what they say or what they do, they're amazing, but they don't always believe it. They think that there's some special trick somewhere that's going to make them be better. So my advice is just be yourself. Come from your heart. Speak from your heart. Stand on your experience. And most of all, if we seek to serve, that's what I do all the time here on the radio and with Be the Star You Are charity and with my coaching with Starstyle. I'm seeking to serve, and that's really important. It's how can I help you be more of you? So think about that. You alone have a corner on the market of you, and no one else can imitate or substitute for that essence that you bring to life. When the great comedian Charlie Chaplin was in Monte Carlo, he heard about this contest, like a Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest. So he decided that he would enter a contest to look like Charlie Chaplin, and he didn't tell anybody who he was. And of course, you can imagine his surprise when he came in third. So he didn't even win the contest. So the world is just always busy looking for someone else. So there really is only one you. I know I just got an audition call for celebrity lookalikes. And if you've been listening to me long enough or read any of your books, you might know that for many, many years, I was Farrah Fawcett's lookalike. I doubled for her in movies, and then I was what was called a lookalike, where when somebody couldn't afford Farrah or, they just wanted a lookalike, they called my agent, and I did the job. I didn't appreciate it so much at the time because I really wanted just to be me, but there's a lookalike out there for everybody. Dr. Wayne Dyer learned that a scholastic testing service was using an excerpt from one of his books as an element of their reading comprehension exam. And Dr. Dyer, Wayne's been on our show several times. So he actually took a test on his own material. And to his amazement, when they graded him, they said that he only understood 80% of his own book. And when he asked the test formulators how he explained his less than excellent grade, they replied, and they didn't know he was the author at first, and then of course he told them, and they said, well, sometimes the author doesn't even understand what he's talking about. So I always thought that was interesting, because I know with my book, people are analyzing them, and they kind of tell me things that I didn't even know were there. So that is kind of true. So I suggest that you do understand your own material, and that while there may seem quirks in who recognizes your identity or who recognizes your worth, the people who will most matter are going to recognize who you are and what you bring to the party. The Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest, it didn't matter, nor did the Wayne Dyer comprehension test. Both of these talented people have brought great gifts to the world because the people who matter did recognize them. Can you imagine Charlie or Wayne saying something like, what do I have to change about myself to impress the people who make that contest or test so that I can win my own contest? So the best that we can be is to be ourselves. You know, who you are at your core, the level at which you are completely authentic and aligned with your passion and purpose is drawing you unto the perfect people, events, experiences that will match your true nature and identity. So you don't have to struggle to make it happen. You just have to let it be. So this season, whether you're going back to school, a job, a living situation, you just need to take your next step in a relationship. Whenever you have a question about what to do, simply remember that you carry within you the essence and the magic to create extraordinary results. There's nothing to add, just bring yourself forth. And again, just to bring out what Goethe said, when you finally trust yourself, you will know how to live. I think that's a great miracle moment for our show for today. And also believe in magic, because if you don't believe in magic, magic never happens. Thank you for being great listeners and allowing us into your life every week. Make sure you're tuned in to Starstyle, Be the Star You Are, with me, Cynthia Brian, and also with Heather Brittany. We love to be your personal growth success coaches, and we like to bring you the authors and the experts that offer you entertainment and advice, because you can change your life and you can make your dreams come true. For information about Starstyle Productions, please visit starstyleproductions.com. You can buy my books, any of my books, Chicken Soup to the Gardener's Soul, Be the Star You Are, The Business of Show Business, Be the Star You Are for Teens, Miracle Moments. Go to starstyleradio.com and just click on store. And to make a donation to the charity, you can go to our team site, btsya.org or bethestarur.org. So our aim is always to encourage, inspire, inform, and amuse you. Cherish the past and dream of the future, but live in today and savor the second. And until next week, when we play again in our Power Playground, remember that love always wins, kindness always prevails, and smiles do keep us happy. My name is Cynthia Brian, and this is Starstyle. I thank you and encourage you to be the star you are. And if you're in the Oakland, California area tonight, make sure to go and visit Melissa Dela Cruz and her husband with their new books, Frozen and Winds of Salem. Thank you for joining me. We'll be together next week and shoot for the stars.
Be the star you are. The star you are. Be the star you are. You are the star. Be the star you are. Keep caring.
It's been a pleasure bringing you our life-changing program, Starstyle, Be the Star You Are. We have you on our radar, as it's our goal to inspire, inform, entertain, and motivate you to be the star you were born to be. For more information, visit www.starstyleradio.com. And to make a donation to the charity, go to www.bethestarur.org. Ignite the flame that burns brightly within. Take charge of your life and coach yourself to success with our dynamic hosts Cynthia Brian and Heather Brittany every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the Voice America Empowerment Channel for another serving of champagne for the spirit and a power boost to live with Starstyle. Until we celebrate together next week, be the star you are.
You